Yo. I might record and upload to YouTube's. Oh, I'm off. I'm off. Hold up. Hold up. Or maybe not. Seems good. We good. Can you hear me? Who can hear me? Can people hear me? We can hear you. Okay, good. Yeah, who's gonna win, guys? YouTube or Twitch? YouTube or Twitch? YouTube can hear, but not Twitch. Oh, I think I know why. Can you hear me? Twitch can hear. Hell yeah. Twitch, YouTube, Twitch, YouTube. Just move this over here. You're on mute. The tin can. Oh wait, I'm dumb. I had the tab muted. Oh, the sound of that HHKB is so nice. Yes, it is. Ooh. What's up? No. I like to have Prime and T John so I can give them that ad revenue, but I have to mute the tab so I can focus on work. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. YouTube. What up, Tube? All right, the tubes. I'm edible. Technically, yeah, why not? I am technically edible. If that's something you're willing to do. If you're willing to go the distance. Shifted to NVim because of you and loving it by customizing LazyVim. LazyVim's a great place to start. Vinit. Great place to start. I love LazyVim. LazyVim's the one that's basically just a single file, right? Exit this. Go into here. Cool. Looking good. Looking good. 23 viewers. What's up, gang? I'm loving it. Just loving life right now. Okay, proceed. Thank you. Loving life. So we making a GCC from scratch? Yes. How'd you know? Hello. Hello, Emacs user. Waiting to have a new machine before having a full-time Linux machine because of you. You're the only person hands down who explained well on how to have a neat NVim setup. Thank you, sire. Thank you, Need for Eat. Thank you, Jacob O'Neill. Dolev Hadar. What's up, Dolev? How you doing? What do you mean? Tmux is already great. It is, but you know what? Here's a problem. My favorite plugin for Tmux broke, and I'm going to build a new one. The more I look at you switching desktops, the more I start hating my lovely Mac system. Ooh, you mean like this? Ooh, like this? Or like this? Or like that? Ooh. I can also do one of these. What's running? Chrome? Boom. Switch to Chrome. What's running here? Kitty? Boom, switch to kitty. All over the place, baby. All over the place. What was that plugin? Cappuccine? No, Cappuccine's not broken. That'll never be broken. Cappuccine will live on forever. What desktop manager are you using? I'm using i3WM. This is my config. Got it? Got it? Got it? Okay, good. Good. What plugin broke? Bro, how to use Tmux on PowerShell? Bro, I don't know. What are we exactly doing today? All right, so here's what we're doing. My favorite plugin broke for me for Tmux. It's not Tmuxinator, is it? Am I messing this whole thing up? Is it Tmuxinator or Tmuxifier? Yes, not Tmuxinator. It is Tmuxifier. Broke for me. And you know what I want to do? You know what I want to do? Because this is not very recently maintained, you can see right here we have 5 years, 10 years ago. The latest one was last year. It was the latest, you know, commit, if you will. The latest commit. Because it's not really maintained very well, and because it's breaking for me, I don't know if I can show you here. I'm not even sure if I have Tmuxifier installed on this machine, but on my work machine, I think something broke with creating new Tmux windows and panes, and it expected a certain size. Maybe the Tmux API changed. I don't know. So I am going to remake Tmuxifier, but for myself. Okay? Is that okay with everyone? On Kush Roy, you could just make the plugin from scratch like a Chad 10x developer. Yes, correct. Got him. First time chat, West Dev. I've been testing Yabai on macOS. It seems interesting. It does seem interesting. I haven't really gone into that too much. I'm too used to this i3WM stuff, where like anything on macOS, even if it's good, which I mean, there are a couple good ones. Yabai seems like a good one. I just can't get used to it. Gentive, notice me, big fan. Grepex Dev, I love you more, Typecraft. I doubt it. I don't think you know how much I love you. Daylube, I gotta make a color scheme called Dog Pagini. Dog Pagini. Yabai isn't bad, but it's nothing compared to i3, Sway, and Hyperland. Yes, that's correct. That's how I feel about it too. Call me Mr. Yogurt. Hi, handsome. Hey, Yogurt. How are you? All right, gang. Shall we get into it? Shall we make Tmux great again, for me at least? Hello, hello. I am Rada. Hello. Oh, can't do that. Hurt my neck. That's good. That's good stuff. That's good stuff. All right, so here's the thing. Everyone's probably expecting me to just like dive right into this. I haven't written a shell script in many years, and I haven't done a lot of research on this, but there are a few things I want to do here. Okay, so let's do something here. Let us talk about how we want to approach this problem, okay? We can do this. We can do this. Let's talk. Let's talk. Just you and me. Just you and me, fellas. Just you and me. Okay, so I think there's a way we can make this happen, okay? So there is Tmuxifier, right? And there are some use cases that I really like with it. Okay, the use cases for it are storing Tmux, not sessions. What's another word for panes and windows? Layouts, that's it. Storing Tmux layouts, launching layouts in new Tmux sessions, right? So anytime I launch a new layout, it gets launched in a new Tmux session. And naming layouts, I guess? Naming layouts and having like shell auto completion, okay? These are some of the things I like about Tmuxifier. So with Tmuxifier, let's say I have a project that I'm working on, right? So let's say it's a Rails project and I'm working in Tmux and NeoVim, right? Right? So what I want my Tmux and NeoVim to look like is basically I have this outer shell, which is this right here. I'm using Kitty right now. Could be Alacrity, could be whatever. For all my Mac OS people, maybe it's iTerm 2. Maybe it's iTerm 2. That's cool. What I want is to be able to launch within my shell a new Tmux session. Here it is right here. How pretty. And within this Tmux session, I want to be able to predefine my panes and my windows within Tmux. So let's say right here is my like Ruby code, right? And then over here, oh, I'm dragging the wrong thing. Oh my God. Zoom up a little bit here. Zoom up for the fellas. Okay. And then let's say over here is, let's say Puma, right? That's the default, Rails server running. And then over here is like, oh no, just another shell for like testing, running scripts, like whatever, right? That's the idea. This is what I want. And so this is what I have in Tmuxifier. But Tmuxifier has a problem. And the problem is, I think it's a lack of commits to the main repository. And what's happened is, I think, if I were to guess, Tmux's API has changed ever so slightly. And now whenever I launch, it used to work so well. Like I could just launch from Tmuxifier into this. But now what I get is an error that says size required or something like that. And it's like a Tmux error, right? And it's weird because it used to work well, but now it doesn't work as well. And it still creates the session, it still gives me the same layout, but the names are all off. Like one of the windows, if I made two windows, would be called 99999999999. And then that's it's just not good. So, being the good engineer I am, I know how to waste my time very well. So I feel like I could maybe write something simple to start, and then we could expand on it. And we could do it in shell. Is there lag? Yeah, there is. There's lag to my voice, isn't there? Hi, are you looking at the keyboard? Don't you use touch typing? I do use touch typing, and I don't know if I was looking at the keyboard. Maybe I was looking because I'm typing one particular key. I don't know. All right, so let me see something real quick. I think I know what this is. I know what it is. Whoops. Typed on the wrong keyboard there. Okay. I wonder if this will work. Or if I have to restart the stream for this to work. Did you hear that eagle? This song's spooky. It's one spooky song. Show the HHKB. There you go. Isn't she pretty? She's mine. Let me check something real quick. Am I still off on this screen? Yes? No? A little bit. A little bit of lag. It's alright. We'll be okay. Tmuxinator does this all great. Yes, I agree. But I want something that doesn't have a YouTube is perfect, no lag. Really? Interesting. Interesting. I wonder if that's my machine. Whatever. Who cares? So, yes. Are you streaming on Linux or do you have Windows machine for it? Windows machine. Twitch also works great. All right, good. Everyone thinks it's fine. Monka Frog, love your YouTube. Thank you. Has everyone subscribed? Please subscribe. Love you. Whoever said I'm not doing touch typing is really freaking me out now. Typecraft, you should add the Twitch link on the YouTube description. Oh yeah, good call. I'll do that right here though. You were talking about Tmuxinator. Yes, I was. So Tmuxinator is great, and it does all the same things, but I feel like it's more specific for people who use Ruby, which, by the way, I do use Ruby. Mr. Bodo Fraggins, you are all over the place. On Typecraft Talks and Twitch. I love it. Tmuxinator does these things, correct, that's right. But I want to do something in Shell, not in Ruby. Partially because Shell's interesting to me. I had a job where I wrote Shell scripts. I haven't done it in like 10 years, but that could be fun. But also because, I mean, Tmuxinator has the prerequisite of downloading, installing Ruby, and, you know, a couple other things. I feel like I could do this with just a couple of Unix-like tools. So, we're going to do a new project. And in this new project, we're going to use some tools, right? And I think you only really need to use a few here. So, those bash scripts, right? The .sh. And here's something different. I was just thinking about this. Everyone can correct me if you don't like it. JQ. And hear me out. Why not do it in JS with Node? Yes. You can use DevTools in Firefox to inspect the components and modify them using CSS. What playlist is this? I like the music. It's Synthwave. Stream Beats, Synthwave by Harris Heller. Can you make videos on how you approach the project before working directly on it? Yes. Bruh, just make cat poutine in your browser theme. I should. Maybe I will someday. Okay, so JQ. Now JQ is cool, I think, because you look like a Pokemon trainer. Have you made a video on Zoxide? No, I haven't. You want to see me do one? Should I make a video on Zoxide? Google how to set JQ colors. So nice. Can you start coding? Come on. Chrono Loop. Hi, Typecraft. Glad I caught a stream. Okay, fine. I'll start coding. Ugh. Intro on Tmux. Do we want to use an intro on Tmux? Intro on Tmux. Okay. I can do an intro on Tmux. What up? What are we building? We are building a new tool to launch Tmux windows and panes. That's about it. And we're going to store the layouts for these windows and panes in JSON. And we're going to use JQ to parse that JSON in a shell script. Pop open a bunch of windows in fucking Tmux. All right, so Tmux is a terminal multiplexer. That's where the name Tmux comes from. It stands for terminal multiplexer. What's a terminal multiplexer? Well, in a typical Unix-like environment, you only have one login to a shell at a time as a user. That is what this terminal window is. Each window is one pseudo login to the terminal shell. Tmux allows you to multiplex this one terminal session, this one terminal login into many different things. And you can create new panes in Tmux so that we are now able to split our panes. We can also create new windows within Tmux. So we have different windows that we can cycle through. You can see at the top left there, they're named. I could name it. I could say rename window something, okay? And I can rename this window to, and I'm doing this by typing leader colon. My leader in Tmux is Control S. So Control S colon, we can rename this window to be, let's say, servers, right? And so in Tmux, actually, let me exit out of all of this. Let me exit out all of this. Let me give you a real example. So I have a, let's say, a Ruby on Rails project here. From this directory, I can launch Tmux. Tmux is now bound to this directory, so whenever I create a new pane, it's in the same directory. So let's say in here I want to run NeoVim, and then I want to create a new Tmux window. And in this window, I want to run, this is going to be funny because it might not even work, but let's say I just want to run my server for Rails, okay? And then let's say over here, I just want an extra one just for writing scripts, right? So I'm in my, this is the Rails IRB, right? Interactive Ruby environment, right? So I can type things like post.first, and then I can be reminded that Postgres isn't actually running, right? So I can type post.first, right? And I can just run commands, whatever. The database doesn't exist, doesn't matter. I'm not actively developing this thing on this machine. But I can have NeoVim running here, and I can have my server and other things running in a different window. And so that is what I use Tmux for. Now, what I love with Tmux, and the reason why I like Tmux so much, is that I usually work on multiple projects, either professionally or on the side, my little side pieces, if you will. I run those in Tmux, and when I have multiple projects in Tmux, you can use Tmux as like project kind of switcher thing, which switches between your different Tmux sessions, right? And so what you can do is you can even rename sessions to like the Ruby project, right? So that's my Ruby project, and then I can detach from Tmux. Let's say I cd into, I don't know, my dot files or whatever, right? And then I can Tmux from here and rename this session to dot files. So now I'm switching between my projects. Let's say I have a front end app and a back end app, or I have a microservice and a monolith, right? Like I can work on multiple things in my system with very minimal cognitive load between me and the code, because it's very easy for me to switch between what I'm working on, right? Super simple stuff. Easy for me, at least. So, what I've enjoyed doing with Tmux is the ability to sort of describe the layouts that I like for certain projects and then launch those layouts. But the tool that I use for that I like the most, which is Tmuxifier, is currently, I don't want to say broken, but it has some bugs and it's not being actively maintained. So I am going to, I guess, create my own. That's the idea, at least. And we're not going to do it all in this stream. No, 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 no. I have to pick up my kids in, oh, we got some time actually. Got like an hour and 20, hour and 15. But I have to pick up my kids, so I don't have all the time in the world. But we're at least starting today. Now someone's at my front door. And I don't know who it is. And my dog's going nuts. Damn it, I was gonna start making a Tmux layout manager myself. All right, hold please. Uno momento, por favor. We back, baby. Chaircraft. That's right, this is Chaircraft. This is actually a shitty chair. This is a terrible chair. Ugh. Ugh. Chair stinks. Ew. It makes so much noise and I can't stand it. Okay, so. Yeah, that was just a kid who's power washing a house down the street, and he's like, "Oh, we're here to go, you know, I can give you a quote if you want." I was like, "Quote this, pal." And I stared at him. Just kidding, I was completely cordial and very polite, as always. Okay, so new proj. We're going to use bash scripts and JQ, and we're going to launch Tmux. But real quick, how do you launch Tmux? What the fuck is Tmux's CLI? Socket path, features, command flags, file, socket name, shell command. I don't think I even have man installed. Okay, here we go. So we can look at the man page. All right. Execute a shell command using the default shell. Default shell option. We don't need that right now. Do not start this as a daemon. Matt daemon. Do not dash D means do not start the Tmux server as a Matt daemon. This also turns the exit empty option off. I don't need that. Specify an alternative configuration file. We don't need that. Don't need the socket stuff. Behave as a login shell. This is a thing I was kind of talking about before with Unix and single logins for a shell. Specify a full alternative path to the server socket. If I specify the default socket directory is not used, any other L flag, no. So the terminal features, report Tmux version, yada, yada, yada. Request verbose logging. Guys, where's the CLI for Tmux? Ladur. Say it one time, please. He's there. We don't have tickets to the gun show. Oh. Tmux new session. Yeah, but can't you... So can't you specify... I know with launch Tmux with panes. Or actually, like, is there a Tmux documentation? Home, Tmux wiki. I just want to make sure that we can actually launch Tmux the way I'm thinking of, right? Like, I'm imagining we could do something like Tmux, like panes 2 or something. I don't know. Like, I feel like there's ways you can do this in Tmux. Are you trying to create panes? Yes. Oh, do you hear the static? I'll pause it. I can't stand that. You can do it with the Tmux command. Just came here to say thanks, nerd. Thanks, Martin Ferrari. Do you have any free Ferraris for me? You can do that with the Tmux command. Yeah, I know Tmuxinator is a thing, but how does it work under the hood? Does it actually compile everything up into one long-ass Tmux command, or does it actually run multiple things? I did tell you guys, by the way, I did not do enough research into this. This just seems like an interesting project, and I'm gonna do it. There's a man page. I did already read that in the terminal. So let's see here. There's socket stuff, command parsing and execution. Tmux supports a large number of commands which can be used to control its behavior. Each command is named and can accept 0 or more flags and arguments. Yes. Parsing syntax. This section describes syntax. Each command is terminated by a new line or a semicolon. Commands separated. Okay, yep. As in these examples, running Tmux from the shell, extra care must be taken to properly quote semicolons. That's right. In Z shell, it can get really effed up. Commands. This section describes the commands supported by Tmux. Most commands accept the optional -T and sometimes -S arguments. Okay. Target session, target window. Like session, an equal prefix will do an exact match only. Okay. Oh, there's a lot here, huh? Has session, kill server, yep. List session, yes. New session. Oh, we have the start directory, environment, flags, format, window name, session name, group name, width, height, shell command. Okay, cool. So we could do something like Tmux new session, new Cecino. It's a new Cecino. It's a Cecino. The Tmux is Cecino. Tmux new session, -D-S session. Yes, Tmux new window, Tmux split window. There should be line breaks in there. So you can just chain bash commands. Okay, so that's kind of what I was thinking, right? You can. So here's my thought process with this: is I think that let's make a. What's a good name for our new project? Tmuxinator is taken. Tmuxifier is taken. For motions, do not create them yourself. Any window manager like i3 for Mac? No. Tmuxer, or could it be like Tmuxds? Is that too gauche? You think? Is that too much on the nose? Typemux. Ooh, that's a good one. But then people think it's a TypeScript Tmux thing, right? Tmuff. T-nuts. Oh, T-nuts. That's pretty funny. Should try using the Tmux CLI first before chaining stuff. Sure, I agree. I usually create a bash script and then run that to launch Tmux with multiple panes. Yes, that's a great one. CraftMux, Tmux SS. Wait, this isn't a TypeScript channel? What keyboard are you using? It sounds nice. It is the happy hacking, beautiful Type S keyboard. Topre switches, baby. Topre switches. Okay, so I keep getting distracted. You guys keep distracting me with your amazing comments. CraftMux. Craft nuts. I like Craft nuts. Oh, we're just getting really in the weeds here. Tmux-ish? Tmuxer? Ooh, Tmuxer, barely even know her. Have you ever tried custom keyboard with MX Blacks? I haven't tried the MX Blacks. Tmux, I like that. Craft Mux, Craft Nuts. All right. Tmux TBD. How about that? We'll just call it Tmux TBD because we're going to figure it out. So here's what I want to do. I want to make a JSON file, right? And I want my Tmux session to be described in JSON. Okay. What's the escape for JSON? What is the escape for JSON? Or the comment character. Is there one? Can comments, can it be used? JSON's data only. Yeah, that's what I kind of figured. Oh, you can comment in here. Okay. Yeah. All right, so I guess no comments for now. Use YAML. Yeah, JSON's data only. You cannot use comments. So, fellas, YAML is a possibility. I don't really want to use YAML, though, because I feel like, not TOML, so I feel like I don't really want to pigeonhole ourselves into one particular thing, right? I feel like JSON is more agnostic than TOML or YAML or any other mols. And I feel like that's kind of a good way to go. Sounds like it's time to create a new config markup language. Oh yeah. Should we use Pickle? It's created by Apple, right? Pickle is a configuration as code language. Should we use Pickle? Should we get ourselves in a little bit of a pickle here? Apple moment. It has to be good, right? No. So here's the thing. I have an idea. Haskell. I could throw it in Haskell. No, I think what I want to do here is write this in with as few necessary things as possible. And by things, of course, I mean dependencies. Everyone has JSON. So imagine this, right? You have a new Tmux session. And let's say you name the session, right? So this is going to be my Rails project. Okay. And then, oh, hang on. Rails project. And within this Rails project, we could have windows, right? And let's just say like underneath the project is a window, okay? So you could have multiple windows. Does this make sense? And then each window, oh, does this need to be an array? Probably. Yes, okay. So now within each window, you could have panes. So I can call this pane code. Okay, and our pane will have a structure to it. And we can call it size. Okay. And the size could be an integer. Okay. And any command we want to run. Right? Like, that. And that's just a string that we can, parse for and then run like in bash, right? And so that could be our window. All right, are you following me here? And then we can have another window. And that's our pane. Sorry, that's our pane. So this is our window. This is our pane. And then we can have another window, okay? And this window is called, oh, sorry, this pane. Ah, see, I'm already screwing myself up here. So this window can be called servers. And we want a size of, let's say, 50 and a split of vertical. And then like that's like a general way to describe how you want your layout to be. Tom or ionize away. Oh, interesting. Rather have an object with an internal name code. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I would fucking love if you could do what you're doing right now to find the layouts in a JSON and spin them up with Tmux. Holy shit, if that would work. Yep, that's the idea. That's the idea. I personally dislike having keys in JSON being unknown or dynamic. I agree, and I'm going to... I think we can probably define what we want our keys to be, right? So we could do... Rails project is an array of windows, right? And this window name could be code, right? And underneath windows, we could have panes, which could be an array of objects. And our first pane is this. Name. So we can call that window name, or maybe since it's JSON, it's like window name, right? It's got to be camel case. And we have panes. So we have window name is code. Panes is going to be an array of panes, and one of them is code. Oh, but we can call that name, or is that right? Yeah. So name. Yes, this is correct. Okay. Code. And we can get rid of this, get rid of this. Okay, I like it. What do we think? Could be cool. Could be cool. I personally dislike having keys. Yep, I know we're getting a feel for it. 100, yes. Okay, good. Yeah, an array of different type of objects doesn't sound good. Better to have some keys. Yes, I agree. Part of the reason I love Vim is because it makes you so much faster. It doesn't get time to inline yak shave. I agree. So yeah, so for those of you just joining, we're going to create our own sort of system, our own plugin for Tmux that's going to allow us to describe our Tmux projects in a somewhat static way, or like a predefined way, like with a schema, let's say, right? Oh, you can have schemas in JSON, right? So we could check schemas probably. Or is this way too much? Is this doing too much? Might be doing too much here. Might be doing a little too much. Too little. SWLKR is rating with a party of 82. Let's go. Let's go. Do it in Rust. Too little. It has to be Rust. I agree. Is this Temple OS? Yes. All right, fellas. So we are making, for those of you just joining, we're going to make a NeoVim, or sorry, a Tmux plugin that basically replicates what Tmuxifier was doing. And we're actually going to do it in shell as well. And it's going to look something like this. We're going to be able to create Tmux layouts And we're going to launch these layouts in new sessions. We're going to be able to name the layouts and name the sessions and all that stuff. And it can launch essentially a pre-built project where if I have like a Rails project, I have my Ruby code, Puma, a new shell thing that's just open right here, you know, whatever. And this is kind of what we got so far. We're just kind of thinking about it. I think JSON's an interesting way to do it. I think TOML and YAML kind of cut off a section of people who maybe don't know YAML or TOML, but I think JSON is a little more agnostic. So I think that's where we want to go. First time catching your stream, seeing some of your videos though. Good stuff, thanks. All the raiders. Could you subscribe, please? It's just us now. Could you subscribe? Thanks. All right. Let's see. So, what's wrong with the simple Haskell that everyone's familiar with? I agree. Okay. Kubernetes and GitLab pipelines can do with YAML. What's wrong with simple JSON that everyone's familiar with? What's wrong with simple YAML that everyone's familiar with? XML, yes. Maybe XML. But this is what I'm thinking right here, okay? This is it. Something like this, where you can define your project, right? This is a session, okay? So top level is session. Next level is windows, okay? So you have your window name. And within your windows, you have panes. And that's kind of it. That's kind of it. And I think what we can do is we can inspect our JSON with JQ. And using JQ, we can build up a command for Tmux to launch our project. Yes, tabs and panes. Oh, and working directory. You're right. You're right. So we can have something more on the top level, like working dir is going to be called, you know, whatever. Okay. Got it. Got it. Oh, this is no longer an array. This is this. And this is this. Right. Right. Got it? Got it. Got it. D-Hall is the way to go for config. What the hell is D-Hall? And yeah, pane should have a pane should have orientation, correct? So then I guess the question is, yeah, no, it's, yes, it should have an orientation. And that should be vertical or horizontal. Cool. Yo, what's up? This is malformed JSON, making my case why D-Hall is better. Rails project is still a dynamic field name. Yes, correct. Whoops. So session could be name Rails project. Are we considering having defaults already? Yes, I think so. Trailing commas. I kind of agree. D-Hall or Q are good for configs. Q can do some schema validation and convert to JSON or YAML. There are no trailing commas in JSON. Is that so? Oh, didn't know that. Huh. Huh. Okay. 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 As this plugin expands, would there be a functionality to define a config in an interactive manner? Oh, yeah, I think so. Probably. You and Prime introduced me to NeoVim and Tmux, and I'm bloody grateful. Keep up the brilliant content. Thank you. So serious, Sammy. XD. Yeah, JSON has many minor annoyances. That might be the biggest. The trailing commas, yes. Reason ML, before it became Rescript, don't know what it is today, used the variant of a JSON parser that allows comments and trailing commas. Man, I was going to sling my Prime sub your way, but I guess you haven't met the requirements yet. Oh my God, I have met the requirements. I keep forgetting to fill out the forms or whatever on Twitch. I'm an idiot. I got to do that. I'll do that soon. I will do that soon. You need JSON ls and JSON lint to tidy that file. Let us sub. Lamp Web Dev, hello. Hi, how are you? In the meantime, just follow. And then, I don't know, you can subscribe later. No big deal. We'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. Hey, man, Escapee. Escapee. The NeoVim course is great, by the way. Thanks, Michael. Dude, I love your channel. Stopped using NVChat and created my very own Vim config because of you. Thanks. Awesome. How can Tmux be even greater? By creating our own plugin. Okay, so that's JSON. Should we look into a different one? People are talking about dhall. What is dhall? Red lentil doll? Is that it? The dhall configuration language. JSON. Interesting. dhall is a programmable configuration language that you can think of as JSON plus functions, plus types, plus imports. Ooh, I like the types. I like the types. That's what I like. That could be cool. The FZF plus ZSH combo is great. Thanks for creating that short and video. Question. Would we define this config per project basis or somehow identify what kind of project we are in and then dynamically figure out the layout? You know, I think, do you plan to offer PayPal as a payment method on typecraft.dev? Oh, is it not there? So that's done through Ghost. We use Ghost to handle, or Stripe actually, for payment methods. So I don't know if PayPal is ever going to be a thing. Maybe it will, maybe eventually. I don't know. We're not really looking into it yet. How exactly does dhall handle types? Good question. Let's look. Types. Let config type. What happens if you add another field here? Home. Okay, so this is interesting to me. You can optionally add types. XT means that X has type T. Okay. Let config be a type. All right, so then let make user is, oh man, this is some interesting stuff. Let configs equal, it's a list of configs. Okay. User is text. Interesting. Interesting. It looks fairly simple. I guess so. dhall looks awful. It looks a bit like structs. Yeah, this is a weird one. I mean, it's interesting. I get it. And that's something that I kind of want to enforce too, is like, okay, great. So you have this JSON that defines your Tmux session and the windows you want within it. But how do you make sure people are defining this correctly, right? I mean, you could have a parser go through and check everything and make sure it's correct and maybe give out like helpful, you know, helpful error messages. So how do you do JQ with a file? Let's see. JQ with a file. How do you pass JSON file name to JQ? Okay, so that just gives me, got it. So it's JQ dot, which is just give back formatted JSON, something.json. Object must consist of key value pairs at line 16, column 3. 16. Did I mess something up? Key value pairs, key value pairs. Let's see. If I want to search for something with JSON, what about SQLite? It can be good or horrific. I don't know. After working dir, I have a problem. Working dir. Yeah. Oh, and then this is we need right. Okay. Geez. All right. So we need Windows, right? Or name working dir stuff. We'll call it stuff for right now. Okay. So this is what this would look like in JSON. Let's change stuff to contents. Is there a better way to do it than this? Because I was picturing I would make it in JSON and use JQ to parse the JSON, look for specific keys in their values, and use that to build a CLI command to launch Tmux with. That was it. Shift U in that Mason window. Update. Update. So yeah, that's the idea. Is there a good JSON thing? JSON LSP. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, that's JSON LS. Yeah. Let's install that. Installing JSON LSP. Cool. LSP info. Oh, right. I have to add this to my. Dot files. Dot files. And in here, I can go into lsp config.lua. And I know I'm doing this the lazy way. Stop. LSP config. This is going to be JSON ls, I believe. Let's just make sure that didn't break something. Okay. And then let's go to something.json. There we go. Now it's working. Yeah, you need to configure it to make it attach. Yep. Hey, Typecraft, what's going on? What are you building? We're building Tmux. We're building a Tmux plugin that will allow you to describe and then launch projects. Right now, we're kind of working back and forth with JSON. I'm trying to see if that's a viable solution. But if we want to use something like, I don't know, I don't want to use YAML, but maybe YAML's a thing. I just had it in my brain that we could use, something with JQ, where I can parse a layout file. That layout file is JSON, and JQ could then parse that file, and I think that could work. I think it could, right? Let's get the very basic piece down here, and then I'm gonna have to leave. But let's try and see if we can get a very basic definition here. So, Tmux CLI. The problem with Tmux, or the problem with this documentation, is not very good about like actually showing off the CLI here. Oh, search query. Interesting. File format games. No. Someone's back of the door game. My niece is here. Please hold. Okay, welcome back to Chaircraft, where we talk about chairs and show off a chair for 2 hours straight. Has anyone tried pickle? Why is there so much hate for YAML? Because it's too straightforward and accessible. Is it really that accessible? Oh, it's Tmux send keys. Oh, that's pretty good. I'd watch Chaircraft. Yeah, it's basically what we're doing now. JQ.filename, yes. Just write a small Rust CLI to parse the JSON conf and launch Tmux. Then write a script to run it from NeoVim plugin. I agree. Zellige uses KDL. It seems interesting. Has its own query thing, it seems. YAML with their spacing system, Lamau. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I mean, guys. All right. Let me ask chat. Let's ask chat. All right. Let's see. All right. Type 1 for YAML, 2 for JSON, or 3 for something else. I just want to know. Let me get a quick count here because I'm not sure if I understand if this is a good thing we're building or bad. Oh God, it's evenly split. Oh my God, it's evenly split. 69. Can't believe people argue over settings files. Well, I mean, it's so sure there's an argument here, but also it's like, what is the best that most people seem to find the easiest to use? In my mind, I was thinking JSON's okay. You can sort of create some kind of a struct that you expect certain values and certain arguments or certain keys, and then you can parse that with JQ, and it's a cool like Unix utility, right? But if that's not the case, if people prefer something else, then I'm down for that too. I'm just curious what people think. Seems like most people don't mind JSON. Some people would prefer TOML or Lua or Lisp. YQ is for YAML. Oh, interesting. For me, JSON is easier to understand. You know what? How about we do this in YQ as well? We can do it both ways. We could actually do this both ways. Another .yaml. Okay, let's do it a different way. Let's do it in YAML too. Let's see what we get. YAML file structure. YAML spec. Overview of syntax in YAML. Let's do key value pairs. Okay, so key and value, yes. And then there's a list. So a list is represented by preceding its items with a hyphen. Okay, yep. Okay. Learning objectives. What is YAML? Right, and then you can go 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. Okay. YAML has an alternate syntax called flow style. It allows sequences and mappings to be written in a line without having around indentation. Interesting. Can you do YAML list with what's the word? YAML list with nested keys and values. Can you do that? Find nested key value pair in YAML. Nested YAML. Is this how you could do this? Fruits, apple, hate. Yeah, can you do it like that? Is this correct? I like YAML for config files in Linux, XML, INI, and TOML. TOML hierarchy kind of ass. Other alternatives are fun. Anything that starts with A is just a new list element. Oh, anything that starts with a hyphen. Yep. Everything on the same indentation is just key value pairs. A dash, yes. I wouldn't use some weird ass config language if you want to just publish the plugin. Just use TOML, YAML, or JSON because everyone knows these. Equally shit. Pros and cons for each one. That's perfect. Equally shit. Learn X and Y minutes. Documentation. Let's see. Oh, this is perfect. This is exactly what I need. This is literally what I wanted. I just need a little bit of everything here. So a nested map. Yes, this is what I needed. A map. This is it. Key is a value. Yes, another key, another thing. Okay, cool. A sequence. And within these sequences, you can have multiple things. Okay, so, I mean, shit. So let's say our top level is a project, and the project has a name. Is this right? So let's go with Ruby project. Okay. Ooh, action lint. Interesting. CFN lint. Is there an actual like YAML prettier D? No. No. YAML language server. YAML LS. Let's install that. Let's install that really quick. Let's go to our .files. And let's go to lsp config and do the same thing that we had for JSON LS. I know it's lazy what I'm doing here. It's lazy. YAML LS. I know it's lazy. That didn't break anything. Let's go now. Nvim another .yaml. Okay. lsp info. lsp indu. YAML ls is here. Okay, cool. Yes. Okay. So a Ruby project. Let's say we have a Ruby project and we want to maybe it's key value pairs, right? So we can call this what's chat saying? Use Oxide, please. Yeah, I should, huh? I do want to add it to ensure installed, but I just don't have it set up correctly with the actual attaching two things. So, whatever. Terraform is shit. I like that. Just use TOML, YAML, or JSON because everyone knows these and they're equally shit. It's like opinions. Opinions are like assholes. Everyone's got one and they all stink. That's what a teacher told me in high school. It's a good guy. All right. So we have things with key values. All right. So what's the right way to do this then? So we have a top level. Okay. So project name. Or this will be the session name? Sure. Session name is going to be Rails project. Okay, let's go with Windows. Can I do it like that? And then underneath Windows, yeah, nested map with a key value. Yep. Windows. So I can do name, code, and within this, I can do splits, right? There's another map. And within splits, I can name one, or not a name, but I can do something else in here, right? Like this is kind of the idea, and I can not necessarily name this split, but like one split, right? Is this how we would do nested stuff in YAML? You don't need to indent the list? Okay. Okay. I'd call panes instead of splits. Yeah, you're right. panes. That's right. And then what could this key be? Could this key be like a new pane? Right? New window. And this could be called name. Or this could be called something. Code. And then we have panes, and a new pane is something, and then this is orientation is vertical, and then size is 50, let's say. And then we could have another new pane here called something else, okay? And our orientation is horizontal, and our size is 50 as well. Does this make sense to everyone? That's why everyone dislikes YAML. I'll just leave the indentation part to a formatter. Sure. All right, I formatted it. Seemed to work. Let's see. GF. Ooh. Okay, whatever. My linter is telling me it's correct. Why give panes names if they don't translate to Tmux? Because I don't know YAML. Damn it. I don't know YAML. Does it work like this? Does that just work? New pane? Like that? This is causing me pain. So we just call it pane? Okay. Hi, Typecraft. Care. Hi. Take care, would ya? The N in YAML stands for nice. And there's no N in YAML, so it's not nice. Fuck YAML, use JSON. Whoa. Strong. Strong. That's a hot take. That is a hot take. All right, we're talking about configuring our new Tmux orchestration project. We're calling it T-Nuts or Tmux nuts or TD's nuts or craft nuts or type mux or type nuts. What do we like better? What do we like better? Wait, I just copied your old Tmux setup video. Haha. Well, it's going to be the same setup. We're just making a new plugin that we can use instead of Tmuxifier because Tmuxifier isn't working very well. And it's not being actively maintained. Zellage is the answer to all your problems. I know, Zellage is cool. Toml. Panes is a list of hash maps. Yes, it is. That's what that is, yes. Is this the incorrect way to do it or what? To identify the pane, you can bring the name back as the key to the list element. Okay, yeah. Oh, you can convert this from one thing to another with JQ? Ooh, let's see how that works. Convert JSON to YAML. JQ. JQR? Is that how it works? JQ convert to YAML. No, there's no way. There's no way it's like this. Yeah, that's how it works. Okay, yeah. So it's -R. So we can do JQ-R converted.yaml something.json. Converted is not defined at top level line 1. Converted.yaml. Did I mess this up? Who's laughing at me? I don't know if JQ can parse a YAML. JQ can do everything. Is Tmux P no good? Draw the layout using ASCII art in a file and parse that. Ooh, that's a good idea. Okay, so should I not define it? I think JQ isn't bidirectional. You need YQ also. Am I reading this wrong? JQ. Oh, you. All right. Well, I'll do. Yeah. Fine. A. Okay. Do I need to touch the file first? Will it not create it? Or let me just do it, yeah, here, right? Start here, something.json. Oh, so it didn't really do anything. What am I missing? What am I doing here? One question, do you use that programming monitor right now? Yes, I do. I use it for work. I have it in my office at work. If JSON allowed for comments and didn't care about trailing commas, it would probably be the go-to for everything. Oh yeah, that's true. You need to put the JSON into ChatGPT and it will convert it for you. Really? I can try that. Convert this JSON to YAML. This will be fun actually if this works. Ooh, that's not bad. That's not bad. It's actually kind of nice. Okay. How close was I? I wasn't too far off. I wasn't too far off. I was pretty far off. That was pretty bad what I had going on there. Okay. But we prefer snake casing in YAML. Okay. Panes. Now this is kind of effed up. Oh no, I see. Okay, yeah, and then this would be another one. And we start with orientation. Vertical or whatever. Name something. Size 80. Got it. Command is Rails S. Is name valid for panes? No, it isn't. I don't need a name for a pane. I don't know why that was there. I probably just did it for no reason. Contents. So we want the contents to be a list of windows, actually, right? Can we also do it like this, windows? No, because within each window you want your panes. Yeah, you can probably do it like that, right? So you can do like, just like how we do panes, we can do windows. Name is code, right? And then within that we have, and this has to be a list, right? Underneath this we have now panes. So that's what it's supposed to be, right? Contents equals windows. Oh yeah, true. True. Cool. So this is what we're looking at then, right? This is the difference. I think this makes sense to me. So then instead of contents, we can call this windows. And within each window, we have panes. And this seems to be about the same thing to me. Windows is also an array though now. And then we need this. Format. Right. Okay. What looks better to you guys? Now try TOML. JSON's greater than YAML. God, you know, now toss the YAML and rewrite it in TOML. Okay. Jesus. So, does TOML have the ability to define types? Like, is there a configuration TOML config language? Tom's obvious minimal language. Oh my God, this already looks so much better. Oh, TOML does look better. YAML is easier to read, but look how you struggled to construct it. The story of YAML. Yes, that is true. That is true. TOML will look 95% like YAML here. Okay. TOML's fire, to be honest. No cap, fam. TOML's fire, bruh. Bruh. There's also pickle. I like INI. I've seen INI a couple of times. What? Which configuration has INI? If I go to my DAW files, which one has INI? Not that. It's not i3, nvim, pycom. Oh, is it polybar? Yes, polybar has config INI. INI, to me, just off the top here, looks kind of like TOML. Right? It seems like a different way to construct the data. INI is basically like TOML. Yeah, it's just kind of how I figured it out. TOML looks like asterisk config, which is a voice server. All right, chat. Here's a question: is there a configuration language that allows you to use types? Is that possible? Or actually, I mean, TOML has schema, okay. Pickle or HCL has type validation, interesting. Pickle has types, or schemas, yeah, schema, whatever. I'm thinking in the terms of TypeScript types. JSON schema also. Yeah, but isn't JSON schema kind of crazy? Like, how would you add a schema? Creating your first schema. Just JSON objects like the following. Okay. Each product in the catalog has these things, right? So introduction to JSON schema. By adding validation keywords to the schema, you can apply constraints to an instance. For example, you can use the type keyword to constrain an instance to an object array straight. Okay, creating a schema definition. To create a basic schema definition, define the following keywords. Schema specifies which draft of the JSON schema. Okay. An ID sets the URI for the schema. You can use this URI to unique URI. Isn't that redundant? To refer to elements from the same document or external documents. Okay, title and description, and then type. So this is the schema's definition. Okay, so this is the definition. All right, so then you can define properties. To add properties, the properties validation keyword to the end of the schema. So we have type is an object, and we have properties, which has product ID. And the product ID has a description and a type. Yes, this is really verbose, but I mean, shit, maybe that's not so bad. Right? I mean, maybe that's not a bad idea. Online JSON to schema converter. JSON schema from someone who had to do them. They suck. You get stuck to what JavaScript allows, and that's not what you need outside the web. The language parsing the config file should do the validation anyway. So the question is, after loading this TOML file, what will it be in that language, and what does that language have as a data structure? Yeah, so that's the question too, right? There is the concept of writing this in a language that, you know, has types and can validate whatever you're putting into it, right? We could do it that way. I was hoping though to make this in just shell scripts, because I wanted this to be as lightweight as possible, because, you know, Linux and Mac all have shell, and everyone has that, and everyone can use JSON. So if my only requirements were JQ and a shell, that seemed like a pretty good thing. But now I'm starting to think, yeah, maybe we do something different. But that was the thing, you know, if you can define it in JSON, and then we can validate it in the shell file, or the shell scripts. We can validate that in shell. Typecraft, are you using Mac or Linux for work? For work, it's Mac, because they gave me a Mac, and all the stuff is on Mac. JQ and YQ are not there by default. Yes, that is true. That is true, free spirit. Too many opinions here, bro. It doesn't matter that much. Yeah, I know, but you know, it's fun. It's fun to play around with different things. This is kind of part of the whole process here. We're just gonna have some fun, play around with some different stuff, try and figure it out. It's just gonna be a simple thing. We're just gonna create a CLI that will INI. Seems like it. Is INI there by default? If you have some dependencies, why not all the dependencies? Node modules. Yeah, let's make this in TypeScript. Let's do this in React. Right? In React? Nah. I think what we got to do here is we need to define some file, some configuration that is available for everyone, and it is about the journey, not the destination. Something that's available to everyone. Is INI available on all machines? INI can be parsed in Bash? Okay, well, I mean, that changes things for me. I didn't know that. Oh, it comes from the MS-DOS operating system's file name extension? Interesting. The INI file is a configuration file for computer software that consists of a text-based content with a structure and syntax comprising key value pairs for properties and sections that organize the properties. The name of these configuration files come from the file name extension INI or initialization used in MS-DOS. Okay. Prevalence. Okay, so it exists everywhere. Sure. Sure. Format. In its broader sense, INI is an informal format which lends itself well to ad hoc implementation while remaining human configurable. Okay. Okay. So we're here. Convert that previous. Oh wait, hang on. I did change this a little bit. Let's just double check here. Da 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 da. We want to copy this into our system clipboard. It's double quote plus yank. Convert this JSON into an INI config file. Oof. Oof. That's rough. Actually, is it though? I don't know if it's so bad. If we want to make a Unix, let's use .conf files. INI files don't support nesting. Oof, that's not great. So it's just flattened. Okay, then how do you parse INI file with shell scripts? How do you parse it then? Oh, you can grep through things using awk. Oh my god, this might be the funniest. Holy shit, this could be so funny. You can use bash native parser to interpret values by doing this. Okay. If you only want a single value, just grep for it. Right. Shoot, this could be very, very funny if we use things like awk and grep and INI files. Oh my god, this would be so funny. Does INI allow for the ASCII art plan? We need nesting. I told you INI is king. There is no native way to parse. So, what have we decided on today? Yet another. God, you know, INI doesn't look half bad. So let's say then we could do something like this, right? Windows 0 pane 1. This is a horizontal one, right? The name is code, the size is 100. Let's call this 80. Let's call this 20. I don't know. I don't know. It's not too bad. Gross. Not too bad, just feels old. We've decided all configuration language options are shit. I agree. I agree. This is kind of garbage. All right, guys, let's look at one more thing, and then I have to leave to pick up my kids. Makin. Pickle Boston. What? Are you guys freaking out? Are you freaking out? Are you freaking out? Pickle. Okay. Okay. Pickle. Okay, let's just see. Let's just see. Let's just see. Generate any static configuration format, define all of your data in Pickle, and generate output for JSON, YAML, property lists, and other configuration formats. Oh, plist. Got it. Oh, should we do plists? Okay. So this is one. This is .pickle. All right. Incredible IDE config integration. Don't really care about that. Catch errors before deployment. So here's the thing. Does Pickle have types? Does Pickle have types? Maybe not. Yes, Apple made Pickle, and Pickle might have types. Sure, there's dill. There are sweet pickles. What do we need types for? Well, I'm just trying to think like... I'm trying to think of ease of use here, right? So if I want to make this a package that other people are going to use, okay, I want anyone to be able to open up this, let's say it's a GitHub repo now, okay? Did I get rid of my eraser thing? Yes, I did. I would love anyone to be able to open up a GitHub repo for this project, right? and see, let's say, one of our configuration files. Okay. And they might say, so someone might just look at this project and say, oh, this looks cool. I want to create my own config file. And then they look at this and they say, all right, is this like an exhaustive list of all the options that we have here? Or is there more we can do? So if potentially, I mean, you can do this two ways, right? I'm trying to validate the code that people write for configurations if they want to create a new Tmux session, right? And you can validate this obviously any way, right? You can do it in whatever language you're implementing this Tmux project in, or plugin in, or you can validate it in the configuration language itself. And I'm not sure which one I want to do, so that's why we're playing around with different configuration options. If there are types in certain configuration languages, that might be kind of interesting, because then you could specify a type, and you know, within the actual configuration itself can kind of like self-validate, you know? But I guess maybe the easiest way is to just validate it in code with whatever language we're using. I don't know. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking. Pickle, bro, I'm dead. If we're going for exotic formats, try KDL. Yeah. So I think, I mean, this is good because we went over a few different things, right? So some things have rules and types, sure. I got you. I was just wondering because Bash uses string for everything anyways, right? I mean, yes, probably. So here's the thing. I'm trying to figure out, there are two problems I'm trying to solve. Okay, here are the problems. If I could type, I would tell you the problems, okay? One is I want this to be portable. Okay, the problem is that like people have dependencies. And the other problem is I want it to be easy to use. Okay, so now when people have dependencies, like that means you have for Tmuxinator, you need Ruby. If you use something else, you might need like Go to like build the project or whatever. I don't want any of that. I want to be able to use the things that are already available to people. And to make something easy to use, it'd be great to have types or maybe like a validation layer of some sort. So the question then becomes like, what's the easiest way to do this for us? Do we just use JSON and then validate everything in shell scripts? Because everything has JSON and everyone has shell script. Everyone has the ability to run shell scripts. Or do we go crazy and say, no, this is going to be in Pickle, and we're going to validate it in Pickle inline, and then we're going to run this in Go, or something nuts. Python is installed everywhere. Nah, no one likes Python. I agree. I don't like it either. That's why you use Go or something and build binaries to just run. Yeah, sure. Sure. Ooh, JSON schema validator, AJV. Yeah, but then, I mean, someone would have to install this dependency, right? And then there you go. Use JSON, simple equals best. I think you're right, JSON, we could use JSON, or as someone just said, you could do something in Go. You could use something like something in Go and compile it into a binary that's available for people to just run. That's a possibility too. But you know what? I don't know. Because then if we do it in JSON, we have the need for YQ or JQ, right? Because we want to be able to parse the JSON effectively, and there's no way I think we can parse JSON in a shell script without another dependency, which would be something like JQ. Make it in Go and publish it in the package managers. We could maybe make this in Go. I wouldn't be against that. So yeah, that's the problem we're at right now. I have to go and pick up my kids. Hell no, Go. I planned to make mine in Go. Let the people write the config in bash. What laptop for Linux? Currently I'm using a framework laptop and it's awesome. I love it. Highly recommend. Yeah. I'm sure chat will be able to reach consensus on what language is best. Yeah, I trust them. All right, guys, I'm leaving, by the way. Gotta go get my kids, get my kin. This was fun though. We figured out that everything sucks and I don't want to use any of it. I think that's what we figured out here. Everything kind of blows. Everything kind of blows. Everything sucks. Go seems to be a popular tool for CLI tools for sysadmins, it seems. Yeah, Go is nice, and you can define structs in Go. I haven't written much Go in my career, but from what I remember, you can define structs, you have types, you have all kinds of things you can do with Go. That might be a possibility. Might be a possibility. But yeah, everything blows. Who should we raid? Let's start a raid. Let's start a raid. Who's online that people like? Do people know anyone? What do you guys know that you like? Anything? Who am I following? Anyone I'm following online? Grubby? We can't raid him. That would be a very different bunch of people. Eduardo RFS. Who is Eduardo RFS? Eduardo. Sure. Let's raid him. I do like that he's just got his chair. It's kind of like Chaircraft. All right, let's start a raid. Hey, guys, I had fun. It's been real. It's been fun. I can't say it's been real fun, though, because it seems like every configuration language kind of blows, and that's a bummer. But we'll figure it out. I'm not concerned. We'll figure it out.